Okay, so I will present the content. The SIG is Human-Machine Affective Interaction and Ethics. So AI is inside the human world. So I'm professor of affective computing and ethics at LIMSI CNRS in a group of spoken language processing. And also I'm teaching at the Sorbonne, and my team is affective and social dimension in spoken interaction with robots and ethics. And we do this share with partners at LIMSI, with Joanna Vasilescu and other partners, which are more in linguistic aspects, and also we're working with economists from the Rhythm in Paris-Saclay, so Fabrice Le Goual, Serge Pajac, for example. And it's completely interdisciplinary because we have these three main fields. I don't know. Okay. The Voice is a new major consumer platform. Conversational agent has the potential to augment human welfare and well-being in many ways, such as improving the customer experience, personalize the communication, give medical advice, create a virtual companion, and so on. These conversational agents are used in fields as diverse as health, education, insurance, transport, economics, and I put some examples. For example, first is Allo from Amazon. It's not a dialogue system, but it's quite interesting to see that this virtual system is able to detect emotion of people. So we can doubt that Amazon Allo's algorithm is capable of accurately interpreting the emotion in someone's voice and worry about the privacy risk. So it's a kind of hold-up of our emotions. The other one, Easy Recruit, offers a recruiter chatbot capable of analyzing your voice, but for what reliability is a real question. If you have an accent, a pronunciation defect, un cheveu sur la langue, par exemple, or if you take your time to answer, maybe your application could be rejected. So a kind of injustice. There is no regulation, no verification of that kind of tool. So let's see this one. It's a Gatebox, a virtual... wow. Je ne peux pas la lancer sans souris. C'est sympa ça. So I'm sure that you know this kind of tool. Okay, that's okay. Fine. So virtual girlfriend in hologram with a conversational system using affective computing.
Ohayo.
C'est de gueule à trop.
Ohayo. 今日雨が降るかもしれないから傘持って行って急がないと遅刻しちゃうよ。行ってきます。行ってらっしゃい。気をつけてね。
なんかさ、家で誰かが待ってるっていいもんだな。さっき思ったんだ。帰ってくるとき。
Okay, so my purpose is the goal of human was to work on the interdisciplinary study of spoken machine behavior. So we need to have more study about that, and we have this opportunity to create a kind of scientific lab to study conversational machine, not only as engineering artifacts, but as a class of agents with particular behavioral patterns and ecology. So we push forward in this project a strong interdisciplinary collaboration between computer science, behavioral economics, and linguistics at Paris-Saclay, but larger than Paris-Saclay. We want to create affective chatbot social robots. We already have done that previously in many research, and to study interaction and relationship, notably how will vulnerable people be protected against potential threats, dependence, isolation, nudge, and so on. So we need to build audit and measure to know the potential influence of affective systems on humans, and it's important to go towards the conception of ethical systems, by design or not. In human, we have 5 axes. One is emotion detection in spoken interaction, with deep learning and a lot of information expertise on linguistics, and also second is the social and affective agent, robots, with reinforcement learning, adaptive system, and this third is the lab to work on the impact of different strategy, like nudging, for example, and then dissemination and teaching. There's a lot of people in industry that are very interested by our research, and we begin some cooperation with some of them. Emotion detection is 3 main technology. One is affective computing is 3 main technologies. Emotion detection, interpretation of the cues and decision making, and also emotion generation and synthesis if it's a vocal agent. And emotion plays a central role in social interaction, like this definition of Klaus Scherer explained very well that there is 3 different levels: individual reaction to a stimuli, physiological and psychological preparation to an appropriate action, but also communicative function of their intentions to another person. And this is this level that we detect in expressivity, in emotional cues, voice, for example, in prosody, in the timbre, energy, rhythm, and a lot of other cues. So in this share, we want to focus on deep learning for social emotion detection, and we have 2 new PhD that are coming from October 2020. The second axis is about social and affective robots. We build systems and devices that can recognize, interpret, process, and simulate human affect. With the capacity of this interpretation, we can adapt the behavior of the system and give an appropriate answer to this emotion. So naturally, it interacts differently with different individuals. And we have already done a lot of experiments at hospital or in a retirement home with this kind of system, and we intend in the share to go further with Fondation au Domicile and with a new kind of robot named Cutie, which is built in France. The third thing is about the scientific lab to study conversational machines. So it's pluridisciplinary study of conversational machines with computer scientific, but also economists and linguists. And we have a cooperation. We have to discuss with Bordeaux NSC about cooperation experiments with a student at school, with the Foundation and the goal also is very interesting by kind of experiment, and with Canada, with work with we have a possibility to work with Mila, with Professor Dillac about nudging. So the nudge, what is a nudge? It's a tactic of subtly modifying behavior of a consumer. Nudging mainly operates through the affective system. It's coming from the work of Taylor, Nobel Prize in Behavioral Economy in 2017. So nudge work by making use of our cognitive bias and irrational way in decision making. So this nudging strategy could be utilized in the near future in chatbots and social robots to incentivize purchase, to influence behavior that may be and may be not desired by user. So we have built this project Good and Bad Nudge to create experiment to prove that it's easy to nudge children adults and elderly people using social and affective robots. Our first results are of the analysis of this impact of nudging, measuring different kind of things in the language, in the prosody, is quite interesting. The protocol has been published in economics conference at Chicago, the best one, in September. And we have also 2 projects in Nudge with conversational agent and social robots in a workshop about dialogues and about social affective multimodal interaction. So new experiments will be in the share about new game for measuring altruism, measuring privacy. In education, we have also a project which is quite interesting because there is a cultural aspect working with Japanese and German researcher, and we want to measure the learning phase, the improvement in learning. In health, we have also many projects to measuring well-being, and for example, measure voice and language impact. This is something that we want to achieve in different experiments, trying to use a human voice or machine voice and different manipulation about the linguistic content of the sentence. We also have in the chair the possibility to disseminate largely in a scientific way, but also we intend to organize 2 workshops at Le Collège des Bernardins, which is a partner of the chair, to explain more in a large audience the problem we can have with this kind of things, of kind of machine, and what kind of measure we try to create. And we have also the possibility to have an international workshop with Mila at Montreal. Then teaching, we have several of us in the share are involved in a course focusing on this epistemology, digital humanities, ethics of AI, and so on. So the future step, we have to make this collaboration real with all the partners I precise in my previous slides. We are also involved in the DATAIA industrial affiliation program with an expert group, and we want also to propose this idea of ethics and to build a guideline of ethics. The long-term issues of our work is to try to understand better how will human co-learn, co-create, co-adapt with these conversational agents, and notably how will vulnerable people be protected against potential threats like dependence, isolation of the machine. So I'm involved in several committees about ethics, the National Digital Ethics Steering Committee, for example. And at the moment we have built a consultation about ethics issues of conversational agent. I give you the link if you have 5 minutes or maybe 30 minutes to try to answer to this question. I use this questionnaire with my students. It's quite interesting to have information about this ethical tension for different questions. And as I prove here, conversational agents is a research topic, industrial topic, we see at the first, a research topic, but also an ethical challenge. And previously in the first committee, we have built several communication about ethics and machine learning. And I wrote also 3 books for large audience. And now I'm involved in the Global Partnership on AI, on the section about the future of work. So it's another way to try to more understand the effect, the consequence of the system that we try to build. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions?
So this is the robot émotionnel. Okay. Yeah, you relate to the work of Kahneman, for example, which describes system 1, system 2. System 1 is a more intuitive system that we not reasoning about things, but do things like naturally things. It's not conscious perception, for example, of something. And the system 2, which is more rational and logic, and finally, in this interaction with machine, we're mainly using the first system. If we don't know that we need more time to decode exactly what is the goal of this person that have built this system, for example, and where our data are coming, or what is the product? Who is the product? You or? So I think we have to push this idea to learn more, to understand more what kind of things are behind this machine. And we have begun with Joanna and all my colleagues to do that at school. During the experiment we have done to collect data, we also take time to explain more what kind of rules or effort we have to take for trying to understand the role of this machine and what kind of consequence could be.
I'm just thinking, for instance, that I know a bit about like neuroscience of language.
Yeah.
Where there are lots of efforts, but most often they don't really include emotions because it's not they're focused on syntax, semantics, etc. And I guess emotion is handled typically by other teams. So are there some ways to put that closer, like representation of language, interaction with emotions?
So I think it's very interesting, and I discussed with Stanislas Dehaene about this kind of research. So thank you for this question.
Okay, other questions? Else I have one, but it's more a philosophical question. I mean, you talk about ethics, and the ad you've presented with this, I don't know, Asian guy. The guy was happy with this robot. No, but I mean, my question
We're
behind
happy
it,
with ice cream too.
no,
It's
no.
depends
Yeah,
also.
but how? No, it's more how. What is the way to decide what is good or not? I mean, concerning these emotional robots.
It's not the question to decide is good or not. The question is to make more clear, transparent, and explicable the fact that there is a tension between your freedom and equality, for example, between people, or to know what kind of things are in front of you. And this is invisible, opaque, and people don't know exactly what kind of system are.
In that case, it would be
more transparent.
Yeah, so a way to say to those people that those robots can provide some isolation, like cigarettes can kill.
Yeah, it's much more ethical guideline and explainable education, which is more important than trying to have regular rules.
Okay, thank you.